Pictures of you on there. Hello.
Hi.
Finally got a break. We've been really busy.
It has been busy catching up, and
Yeah, so we're glad you're joining us for our break. And I'm Dr. Laura Dabney, psychotherapist, Joelle Brandt, relationship life coach, relationship/life coach.
yeah, we'll
Because
call it that.
relationships are life.
Absolutely.
And we are here to talk about what we do, which is help executive men with their relationship problems and to help everybody be less afraid of us,
Yeah.
less afraid of going in to get
Help
with their emotional relationship problems.
and even support.
It's support. That's right.
Both.
That's right. Because there's no shame in getting help. And a lot of people think there is, but really, what do we do in our lives where we don't need help?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even buy a TV without somebody helping you.
Yeah, it's true.
Create it, get to the store, get in your car maybe. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy. So it's really funny how people think, what's the term we hear all the time? I'm a rock. I don't need any help.
I help others.
Right.
I'm the one that helps people.
Yes. As if they've cornered the market on,
Yeah.
helping everybody, that they don't need help. But we like to help people too. So everybody needs to be able to receive help and give help. I think
Yes.
that's one of the sayings I use for good mental. How do you know if you have good mental health? We'll be able to accept help and receive help, and be able to move from work to play. So be able to go back and forth between these. Whenever you get stuck on
Just one.
extreme and think that's the way, you're in trouble. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
So that sort of brings us to the question we got recently. Actually, we've gotten several, so I'm going to sum them up because they're kind of all the same.
Okay.
But it's, how do you know when your relationship is in trouble and you should get professional help? And we love that question because, of course, there's no easy answer to that. But, healthy couples do have arguments or discussions, heated discussions from time to time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean you need emotional help or relational help or professional help, but why not?
Yeah. Why not make it easier on yourself and your relationship?
Right, because one of the questions is, when do you know when you're at your breaking point? But, your breaking point, we'd rather you come in before your breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're starting to question your breaking point, or if you're at your breaking point, that may be the breaking point.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah. That might
Right.
mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's a big thing, like you said, coming in beforehand, or if you feel like you're at your breaking point, that's also the time where you probably need to call us, come to us, or anybody to start really figuring out what got you there.
Yes. And again, we want to emphasize that you can call us and we can talk and see if you're ready to come in. Just because you pick up the phone and call someone in mental health, anybody, doesn't mean you're committed to a lifetime of therapy. There's a lot of stages in between. And we've talked to people on the phone a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We've emailed people, helping them. We have had people come in for one assessment, one meeting, and everything in between, one meeting and 10 years of therapy. I mean, it's all in between.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're questioning the breaking point, it's a good time to pick up the phone and call somebody. That said, what we would call a breaking point, what we call in mental health a breaking point, is when the argument starts becoming invasive in your life. Does it impact your other relationships?
Work.
Does it impact your work? Does it impact your health? Those are the three main areas we look at. In fact, and we talk about this too, because a lot of people don't know this, but some area of your life has to be impacted negatively for us to even give a diagnosis.
Yeah.
According to the DSM, which is our Bible, someone has to come in. So if someone came in and said, I'm crying all the time, I can't sleep, I can't eat, and I'm a mess, and they say that it's not affecting my work or it's not affecting my relationships, then we couldn't give them a diagnosis of depression.
Yeah.
So that definition of breaking point comes from the DSM, and again is a sign that this is beyond just an argument or a healthy discussion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or if the argument, yeah, like you said, if those arguments or those feelings or the anger that whatever you're going through is affecting work, like you said, if you can't go from work to play in that sense, so if you can't go from the argument to being able to let it go and still function at work the normal way, then that's telling,
Right.
so to
It's
speak.
very telling, right? And this is a little bit less official, I would say, but I know we both do this, is when you're in a pattern, I guess another word is a rut.
Mm.
That's another time to take stock and realize, okay, this may be a breaking point, or you're getting to one, because what happens when people come in is they've actually been doing the same thing over and over and over. And I don't mean just arguing over and over, but it's the same argument, different details, right? So someone's late, and then someone gets mad about it being late, and then another person feels that they're being chastised or scolded, so then they don't talk for a day or two, and everything's fine. And they do that over and over and over.
So they're burying.
That's right. That's the big part of emotional and relationship problems, is the burying.
Yes.
So if you see this pattern and you can't see your way out, right? Because you could see a pattern and say, look, I'm going to try this a different way. I'm going to try a new approach. I'm going to handle this differently, which is different than stuffing. No, we don't mean stuffing and burying it, because that's never good.
No.
But if you have try a different approach, and that's really what we do in therapy, right? We talk about different approaches to these problems, because we can't tell the future. We can't read your spouse's mind. We can't read your mind. We can't say, do this and things will be better, but we can say, let's try this. And then we see all together what happened to the relationship. Did it get better? Did the discussion go better?
Yeah.
Was there less volatility?
Yeah. It's really, it's a lot of, I would say, not kind of trial and error.
Yes.
It is. It's, because sometimes it's like we need to find out what works for both of you, or what works for you, what they're comfortable with. It's really baby steps, but really, making those small changes.
That's exactly right. It's making small, and that's life really, is making small changes and see what works for you, because what works now may work while your children are small, or while you're in the early stages of your relationship may not work when you're in the middle stages of your relationship, or in the mature stages of your relationship. So it's very important to have this trial and error approach to things. So in the example of my being late argument, I might advise the person who comes in, my wife's always late and so rude and all that, to say, well, instead of attacking her, criticizing her, scolding her, try the approach of I feel X when you do Y. I get really irritated when you're late for our dates. It makes me feel like I'm not important, or our date isn't important. By taking it on as your issue, your hurt, your problem, that'll make her less defensive. And therefore, she will probably engage more in the discussion with you, or certainly be more willing to change than if you're
always late.
Yes, or it's rude to be late, or you're not late for your friends, you're always late for me. Anything along that vein.
It's not going to help the situation.
We don't have to be mind readers to know that's not going to help. That's pretty standard. Yeah. So that's a big part of what we do in here, in terms of, if you can't, sometimes you can't even see the pattern, and we help you see the pattern, talk about ways you can break the pattern. And breaking the patterns is the key.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you see a pattern that's not working for you, or if you are in a rut, it's having the same argument over and over again, or if your arguments, heated discussions, whatever you want to call them, problem is impacting your work, your health, other relationships, give us a call, and we'll be glad to talk it over with you to see what might help you get out of all that. Okay. Yeah. Please share with those you love.
Yeah. Till next time.
Bye, everybody.